Al pie del Ávila majestuoso, a 920 metros sobre el nivel del mar, en un valle de verde geografía que se abre de este a oeste, surge Caracas, la capital de Venezuela.
And now, our feature presentation.
You are watching a master at work.
Go get some!
How's it going, fellas? My name is Rafael Chacines, no es el Capitán Rafucho, and welcome everybody to another episode of Straight Outta Nation. Because, you know what? It's late night reaction. We all know what happened on last Sunday. We're getting fucked up. And boy, it's not that really funny. Not that really funny. I mean, 31-0. I mean, that was just like a great bitch slap. But yes, that was before the bye week. Because in this week, we got the bye week. And then for another week, we're just getting back in business. But with a negative record just like that, it was not that really safe enough. Make sure to subscribe to Capitán Rafucho on YouTube. Also, you can follow me on different social media. Twitter is known as at Capitán Rafucho. On Instagram, at Capitán Rafucho93. On Kick, at Capitán Rafucho93. Also, you can follow me on TikTok. And if you want to help and support the stream, this platform, you can make a donation by Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal. All financial help is grateful. All right, so salute to Raiders down yonder, Jeff in the zone. Salute to y'all. Also, I just brought in some viewers coming up there from ads and YouTube at the Vertical Style. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I got some reactions for the absolutely disaster coming up there between Las Vegas Raiders versus Kansas City Chiefs. I know it's still fuck the cheese, but it didn't work right now. It just didn't work. Because, to be honest right now, they need to make moves happen on this situation. Because we just get blasted. We just got fucked. We just got destroyed by Kansas City Chiefs. 31 points, and we got nothing. Zero. Nada. And we got 95 total yards, 3 first downs, no hope. It didn't work out. Didn't. And Geno Smith was benched at the end, but really didn't change much. Max Crosby got hurt, and the playbook was not having it. So, what we're going to do even first? Quarterback, the coaching staff, offensive line, couple mechanisms, because at that point, it feels like the silver lining packed us back weeks ago, because they don't have the idea to have like the tank to get a good pick. But I don't know. It's really hard to respect Pete Carroll at this point. I mean, right under his wedge, unclear that was obvious, passing downs or a game plan to control Chris Jones as a star pass rusher. It was one-on-one block with zero help by Gary Kappa or Jackson Power Johnson or Prineham, and we think that's going to be the competitive strategy. Nope, that is not. Does every team deal with Max Crosby that way? Because I think some of the high school coaches will do anything better. This is like the worst coaches that I ever seen, like for over years. And the problem My problem is not with Pete. It's an incompetent fails in coaching, like the online Chip Kelly being completely unable or willing to install a scheme that our shitty line and quarterback have a chance to execute, but that is not. That is not. And I was just like, man, what in the actual fuck are we thinking? I mean, the experts didn't get it all. And what happened? It's hopeless. Hopeless. Everyone on the team, aside from S. Crosby, they could do like two shits if they win, lose. There's no fighting them. And I'm very sick and tired to watching the shitty team. And there's no time but us being like more respectable seasons with the rest looking like helpless bums. I mean, what in the actual fuck? Because right now we're not having like a great choice that couldn't make it at all. Hey, how's it going, Chino Linus? Salute to you, Chino Linus, the real captain of the nation. Thank you very much. But I really understand that we all know that Captain Jag is the real OG, but Capitán Rafucho is the real one. So thank you, Chino Linus. Thank you. Salute to y'all. Also, salute to everybody else on the audience. Shout out to all these content creators, which have some very special around for the season coming out there. But to be honest, right now, even it's going to be really, really important how in the actual fuck we just lost against Chiefs. They have the same spiel, different week. Our team's offense can hold a line or make a whole pause, and the team cannot help but commit penalties on both sides of the ball. They're not very consistent, or probably, because the coaching is not the problem. I mean, come on there. We've been see all. I mean, they're not going to boycott that pointless, but I'm not really sure what we can get rid of the best players and replace them with nobodies. That seems like a recipe for disaster. I mean, we should never go for like Hobbs or planes with no clear replacements. I mean, that shit sucks. It really sucks at all. But they need to get the assistants on the right page. And don't forget, the other son is assistant quarterback coach, which is very, very bad. Really bad. Because what they need in those moments is a coaching staff that plays to fucking win. Even at the game against Chargers, they blows out of my mind, low with management versus a damn win. The Bears had a tough break on Geno gameplay and hero when he didn't need to correct that shit. About for the Colts game, it was dismissal. And against Chiefs, I wasn't expecting about that. But we all know that the referees, Patrick Mahomes has Kermit Frog, they all know what they did. They know what they did. Because Chip Kelly's low management just trigged me at that point. I know Brock Bowers is down. I guess they're all resting Myers and consider a trade, which is Jacoby Myers, not Michael Myers. I just feel like coaching is writing that season off with a team that has wild card potential. But it's very frustrating as hell to watch. I mean, Pete Carroll's apparently should have had one for the quickest setups for the brand new team. It has been fucking shit. The offensive line is still struggling, and as compared for the previous season, I mean, if your passing game is down the block, needs to get open for the wrong game, then that's exactly the pause of what happened. And there's like expectations with a seasoned coach coming off of Pete Carroll. There's nothing even close to what you should have expected. It's the whole point of taking experience versus shaking things up with a young coach. And now we got nothing but a whole disorganization. And to be frank, right now, is a disaster. Carroll might have been something at his prime, but I'm not seeing making sense of the current meta. And that's like the best choice, to leave someone with the help who doesn't have the vision to navigate the current circumstance. But we are absolutely got it. Really got it, to be frank. Because I'm not sure about Spytek, but its coaching staff. I mean, I don't know what needs to go. But Mark Davis say we don't want to fire Pete Carroll for now. And I mean, after I've been through all about this, they can see enough. They can see really enough. But he was brought for the rebuild, not a win now Eastern contender, because they need to understand why they're full blown rebuild. It's like the first season on it. They're generally like always ugly, but this is like what rebuild like. I mean, the first season is generally tearing down rosters and what they want to move forward, culture fits, development of rookies and young guys. Our roster is very horrible. It's ugly, and they need to work across the board to the ground up. That it takes a lot to guts. Whatever they did for the offseason, screen, rebuild, cheap free agency on short contracts, most of them. And I feel like we've been seeing the rebuild speech every season, and we all know about it. We all know if he's here for rebuild, then the foundation year is not looking very good. His rookie online coach Sean isn't cutting it. His overpriced Chip Kelly isn't cutting it. His long to the two quarterback isn't cutting it. Pete is not cutting it. Special teams are not cutting it. Defensive coordinator isn't cutting it. His hand-picked players is not cutting it. And the list goes on and on and on and on. And this is like the foundation year. We're in so much bigger trouble. We have so much trouble coming up there. And I understand that some rebuilding teams, then why the fuck that would happen? We hired someone with experience in rebuilding. He knew he was going to go into rebuild. He wasn't brought for the long term. He was brought the team when he does to retire and did his job for a competent roster is going to attract way better coaching candidates. And he's going to be the sticking around for a completely rebuild. And that's one of those reasons that I didn't draft a young quarterback and went to Gino, because Pete doesn't have the time to develop a rookie quarterback. And he refused to play the rookies and see what's happening at their whole storm field that sticks or the guys or the veterans. So I feel that. I feel like all of the fans coming up there. So I was just like, man, if you're looking around for like the head coach, and since then, why are you always on rebuild mode? At least 2-3 seasons takes multiple free agency, multiple drafts to rebuild the roster, as known as, especially if you're going to like really bad at all. So I was just like, man, and we have to do stay strong. I don't really think, because to be honest, right now, it's not happening when it comes to anything. And will Mark Davis say that Pete Carroll, Jones Protect jobs are really safe? Because if you want those guys fired, you want to rebuild forever? I don't know. But for me, Jones Protect is very experienced in scouting executive. We need to give him to time to build here instead of panicking that our garbage team that didn't immediately become good after 2 decades of constant coaching and FO turnover. I just get why. Because look at the bright side with the moves. You don't clear $100 million in future cap and almost like 1-2 deals and avoid long-term commitments if you're truly in the win-now mode. Spytek is playing the long game. And Pete is here to say culture stabilize the locker when he's get rebuild behind the scenes. But Gino's just like a bridge until they find the real quarterback. So they will say like a rebuild publicity, but the contract sheets scream it. I mean, what else is going to happen? What else? What else is going to happen between for like all the disorganization and everything? And I was just like, man, are you fucking kidding me? But what it takes is about that. What it takes. Because every year, just like the same one. The same one. And I was thinking, just like the Metallica song. Sad but true. Yeah, because I'm not gonna do like a do for the copyright, but that was like a historical loss around from that week. Because in that time, in that game, they only passed a 50-yard line once and it's pulled out because of penalty. There was no Red Suns attempts. And Las Vegas Raiders had 3 timeouts and they didn't use them. So Kansas City Chiefs, they had to do at his best. And Jackson Powell Johnson was bench because that's what left it in Ireland against Chris Jones. They gave like 2 sacks. And that was like absolutely choke. And I was just like, man, only thing that's worse about that. Because I want those fans to say, oh, relax, it's going to be really fine. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Because after that I just saw for that game, why in the actual fuck we just lost against Patrick Mahomes, the wide receivers, the running back, the special teams, and there is no interceptions. No interceptions. And there is a lot of referees who pay around for that game to get saved with that. I thought that it happened to the week, so I had to do straight up and get some battle experience apparently, but I'm very curious how the actual was just going to lose that game. What was it thinking? What was it thinking to get involved for this one? Everybody know that that game is going to be really, 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 really bad. It's just like really bad. And some of the little fans that are to say that, oh, this is time for tank. No. It's not that really far away to get enough with, well, the tank or something like that. But this is like it'll feel like the worst. It feels like the really worst at all. And people didn't get to realize that where did the part where the Chiefs didn't punt until the game was already over at the time, but the possession was lopsided. And the box score doesn't tell the whole story. But let's get it realistic. There was just like a reevaluation. And after 7 games, we had 3 games with no touchdowns. I mean, that was like really pathetic. And commitment to excellence, that became like commitment to failure. It was just like at about 15 times of possession, 20 offensive plays, 9 yards of offense, 3 first downs, 1 for penalty, 0 points, one of the worst offensive performance. But who knows that I got it? Thanks for the reps. Because that was looking embarrassing right now. And someone that they needs to fire. But Mark Davis saying no. But how are we going to trust about Pete Carroll, who wants to be like something like very experienced coach? I mean, it's looked like, well, it's going to be really political, but he actually starts to look like the Joe Biden of the Raider Nation. He looks very confused. He doesn't know how the game plan it is. I mean, we get it. We get it. I know it's too old, but if he has the real guts to get experiment with something that isn't broken, I don't know. Because if they need to do something, I mean, I don't know. It's just getting really worse. Really, 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 really worse. And all of those fans, they feel the same pain. Because this one is something like really stupid at all. Something really stupid, but they wanted to give like the opportunity, a chance. But after all the failures coming up there, I feels like there's nowhere to there's nowhere to run, nowhere to give. I mean, if the team's struggling to strike boss as much as we are, we still have a lot of season to turn it around. But what possibly gonna further changes? Do we hope to see like during after against Kansas City Chiefs and after the bye? I really wouldn't mind like benching Geno Smith because I know we can get the straight heads. And I know Pickens is not a thing can be better, but maybe eventually wake up Geno up. Kelly seems like he was a really limited play with Geno poor play. But I know the season is really over for us. But that could be a shock. I mean, that team has some good pieces, but like Stab overall and have some serious holes. I mean, combined with the number of expiring contracts, that shouldn't be shocked when it went to this way. That shouldn't be as viewed like a precursor for the rebuild. And I think I will just really see like a defensive rebound of some sort. If one thing is apparently for first games that it doesn't matter how good is your defense if they get a first down, and I think that clearly Schmedley, we're trying to run before we can walk, trying to make it a downfield throws and getting loosening it up. I mean, that could be it. And that could be it because it's very clear. Look at the bunch side. The pull downs that are went for negative yards, zero confidence. If we want to build confidence, we have to start small. And I think honestly, after the playmakers to turn around just quickly, like the Bolton, Genty, Bowers, Mayer, Tucker, Lincoln Cook, and have a perfect timing for a 5-step and throw. And if we have like something for the quarterback to trust his eyes, trust his line, we need to get the ball in the hands. If we need to start small and building offense back up, I honestly think the defense is good enough to win games if the offense can stay on the field. That's one of the things that could happen at all. That's what I really think. All right, so after that, I was talking about the recap between Las Vegas Raiders versus Kansas City Chiefs. And still fucking the Chiefs because I know it's a rivalry. I know that Pete Carroll said it's not a rivalry, but he got it wrong. It is a real rivalry. It is. It is. It fucking is. All right. Here's the next topic coming up there because everybody thought that Max Crosby could get like another team, could report the trade. But I've been telling for like several weeks, several months, Max Crosby is not going to anywhere. He's not going anywhere. He's going to stay as a Raider until he's going to prove himself what is going to be here because he's like the heart and soul of the nation. And if he wants to win the Super Bowl with the Raiders, I would love to see that. I would love to see that because for all the rumors, because they have a report call about Max Crosby along with Dallas Cowboys. I mean, if you see like everything about for like the trade and all the drama, I mean, what's the logic behind like the Michael Parsons trade? Unless they can think for a cheap, maybe the logical of Jerry Jones. Yeah, we know this still old, but but Moss to Parsons is mostly like a little move, but I don't know. I mean, he wants to stay face and get show everyone until like the old businessman still got it because they save money, got an extra player, another great player, is gonna love it for years. And I was just like, nah, I don't think it's gonna really happen at all. But look at it at the bright side. I mean, after the whole drama, to say, well, it's gonna be really one on that side because they've been told that the Raiders won't be trading Max Crosby before the deadline. But that was just like a deep breath. It's just like a deep breath. I mean, who would have thought that Hall of Fame coach isn't dumb enough to trade away his best player the first year he's coaching the team? I mean, why? Why? I mean, that was like a pretty obvious to me. Because is still under this level. Still on that level, but they need some around for those changes coming up there. They need some little changes, but they need to want to stay. I mean, we can come right now. I mean, you don't trade generational foundational players for dot throws. I mean, it's not gonna be really easy. Not. Because usually we waste our picks on, I don't know, some wide receivers, running backs, some of the quarterbacks. We're really here with one kids will likely never draft another player with this quality. I mean, it's about who's drafting. We made some good picks for the last 2 drafts, mostly weapons. And now they're going to shoot for the quarterback and then the offensive line. But after that just really happened, I believe that they just wanted to get like really pay, because it's funny, he was perfectly being like something how did they get the two about it? I know fans will be happy, but I know that team is really bad. They might be the entry interesting to listen to team what's going on there. I mean, if teams are in like offering some about the calling, that's why they make a went and they follow like from ads. But I understand it. It was just like, man, this is what comes every year. They're not gonna trade him. He wants to stay because everyone they want to shutting down for the rumors coming up there. So I just wanted to tell you for the other teams coming up there, we're not trading Matt Crosby. He's not for sale because he wants to stay as a Raider. And if he has the heart and a lot of guts to win a Super Bowl with the Raiders, just only one title, they'll be happy. And he can finally retire. Because if Matt Crosby wants to stay as a Raider for life, even though he has a tattoo on it, he wants to stay and he wants to win a Super Bowl with that team, I would love to see that. And then after winning the Super Bowl, they say, hey, I'm going to retire because I know that I have so many things to do, taking care of for the family, coaching with the youngest persons to the youngest generation. And I mean, he's born to do it. He's born as a leader. And he has the heart and soul of the nation. Nobody got it. Nobody got it for a lot of years. And given a player will ultimately scream that they want to the town, but when you further delay the rebuild, it's just like delaying the rebuild. And I know we're playing dog shit in every position. They're drafting a running back with no offensive line and no offense around him. They wanted to keep the box something clean. Brock Bowers is another example. But he's hurt nonstop. And some people don't want to hear the truth because they don't like how it sounds. But is it true? It is a real truth coming up there. So they're not going to complain about it. So we can finally settle it down there to say, Matt Crosby is still a Raider. He still got it in his heart because he wants to. He wants to. He really wants to, and he belongs to be here. He's like literally the heart and soul of the nation, and he deserves a winning team. And they're not going to let his talent to go to waste. Never. 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 He don't want it to go right now. And don't trade our talent. And I know we have shit in coaching that lead our players to the on field with like a heart and organize. Because despite for the case of Matt Crosby, we're the nation, if anything, we should have like 15 personal foul penalties and interfering also at least. And before they're going to say, there's nothing can really stop. Nothing can really stop. And I know some of those talents are really shit, but we had to improve if we want to. Because this is like the time to chance it all. Yep. It's going to be like a really chance to get involved with a lot of this. Yep. So salute to Carmen 06 coming out there. All right, so moving on for the next topic coming up there, because I know it's a late night reaction. Do you guys see the NBA? Because I know the NBA is back on business. And I'm feeling it. I'm really, 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 really feeling it. I'm really feeling it right now because, to be honest, right now, there's important games that we wanted to see between all of this. And I was just like, man, I cannot believe that one of the biggest sports ever, the whole life, which is basketball, is back on business. It's really back in business. I mean, what can I tell you? What can I tell you? There are some players who play at this prime, but also there are some players who wants to get retired because I just wanted to see a little anything. But I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. Because to be honest, right now, I mean, Wemby is now as Victor Wembanyama with the San Antonio Spurs. He had 40 points, 3 blocks, 13 rebounds. I mean, he really dominated against the Dallas Mavs in the first game of the 2025-2026 season. And he really looks like a most valuable player and Defense Player of the Year candidate. And he already will be like a contender for the NBA Finals. Well, it's too early, but he's something that I literally seen in the basketball court. There's no ceiling. I mean, the hype want to sold him. He's gonna be the greatest one, and they've had seen some of the fours of the wheel of the game, just like Wemby, just for a while. And Wemby is 21, and that fucker wouldn't go for much longer. He absolutely destroyed Anthony Davis, PJ Lively with the new strength, the footwork. I mean, most of the conditioning look insanely upgraded. And I really hope that it's going to be like a long, healthy career. And they wanted to deserve like to watch an alien or something like that. But I know he's not only one. He's not the only one who made like 40 points and 50 rebounds and all time out. Because he's not the only one. Remember Moses Malone, Shaquille O'Neal, Anthony Davis. I mean, they're already took a lot of this. And I hope he stay healthy, because if he does, he could be like the greatest one. I mean, it's going to be like something accomplishment, and they're like the praises until ahead of they come to prepare coming up there. But, you know, I know that some of them say, oh, the league is really fought that a fair way to the two defenders is so bad, but no, it's not. I don't think it's not. But I'm very glad that NBA got really back in business. And I know it's going to be from October to June, but it comes to like the NBA finals. And I was just like, man, I cannot wait to see what's going to coming up for Victor Wembanyama as well as Wemby. LeBron James probably is going to be like with the last season. LeBron James, or maybe some of those players kind of come for like, there's like enough time to see, hey, I'm going to retire or something like that, because they're going to leave with a brand new generation, but also they got to figure it out who is going to take in charge. Because I know that the NBA that I grew up, it was like around the 90s and 2000. And I remember of one of those finals that it really captured a lot, because I was like in college. I was in college and I would see like the finals between San Antonio Spurs versus Miami Heat. Now that was a very interesting one between the battle of LeBron James versus Tim Duncan. And one of those most exciting finals that I ever seen, which is Miami Heat versus Oklahoma City Thunder. You guys remember of the triple double between like Russell Westbrook. Also, there was Kevin Durant, and what was there the other name of? Well, I forgot the other name coming up there. Damn it! Because I got an offer like this one because there is Kevin Durant, there is Russell Westbrook, and there is like, man, there is another one which is like, I forgot the name. It wasn't Chris Paul. It wasn't Chris Paul, to be honest right now. It wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't Chris Paul. It wasn't, because I'm trying to figure it out. It was Russell Wilson. Also, there is Kevin Durant, and also there's another play because I know Miami Heat, they got Dwayne Wade, they have Chris Bosh and LeBron James, and for Oklahoma City Thunder, they have Kevin Durant, they have Russell Westbrook. To be honest, Westbrook, and they have like, oh, James Harden. Yep, James Harden. I forgot that one, the beer one. Also, they have Serge Ibaka, Reggie Nelson, Kendrick Perkins. Also, they had Daquan Cook. Yeah, I know what the real is this right now. I know. Hey, how's it going? Because Captain Rafucho, when it's not just man, you're the best captain in all the West. Thank you very much. What did you in major college, amigo? Journalism. Yep. I was graduated as a journalist, major in communications. Yep. And I was just like, man, that was like the greatest feeling ever the whole life. And to be honest, right now, it feels like very important to how to analyze everything. I mean, I cannot believe that the NBA just get really back in business. And I was just like, I'm so excited to see like all this younger generation coming up there playing basketball, including for like the newcomers for the college basketball. And I know a lot of persons, they love the basketball because they feel it, they enjoy it. I mean, there was like broken TV when a team lost it, or like something because they have a lot of competition along with the NFL when it comes to October to December. Yeah. And I know that a lot of NBA fans, they feel like they're really safe. And I'm very glad that it is back in the business, because if you guys remember from one of those biggest moments that really comes over the last centuries, yep, and we always remember Michael Jordan with the Chicago Bulls, who really dominated the entire 90s. Yep, along with Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, The Worm, and people never forget the 2000 decade of Los Angeles Lakers, along with Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, rest in peace, my king. I mean, if there's like a Mount Rushmore, or who's the greatest one in basketball, there was a lot of them. There was Michael Jordan, there was Kobe Bryant, there was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, there was Will Chamberlain. There was a Mount Rushmore, the GOATs of basketball. And that's it. That's it. And to be honest right now, because I grew up watching the whole basketball, because everybody thought that it's going to be really tall and then play like super great, because it's all about ability. It's all ability and get into the game. Get into the game, because it's not going to be really easy at all. Not at all, because I love the passion when it comes to the game. I really love it. Really, really loved it. All right, so I know that basketball is back in business with a brand new season, but last thing before I wrap this up, because I know that some of those persons really got really pissed off, but I've been seeing like a lot of content creators are falling with that clickbait shit. And it's not really funny because I know that I learned in journalism about investigation, coming up there with those topics who really wants to get involved, getting to know for the topic, investigation, ride, and of course, see the game through its eyes. Because not many content creators have like brain, IQ, mentality to talk. Because if you had something like the football knowledge, just like for 100, I mean, you got it all. Because if you have like more experience about football coaching, football knowledge, I mean, you got it all. You just got it all. But if you're a content creator with zero knowledge, zero IQ, I mean, what in the actual fuck are you doing here? I mean, you're just failing out for the clickbait shit. And I'm not one of those persons who fall in with the clickbait shit. I'm not. Because my duty, my reason is getting with investigation. If it's real or it's fake. Because to be honest right now, I'm not going to really fall in love with the clickbait and to say, oh, right now as a victim for the clickbait. No. There are some content creators which on that platform, I'm not going to really say it really louder, but there's like one example. If you guys remember Dustin from Dumbass Report, yeah, the Dumbass Star Report, who loves to suck Jim Harbaugh's dick all night long. He was absolutely fell with that clickbait shit. And everything he posts on the social media is all about fake news. Clickbait. Engage viewers with those fake stories. And no source. And I was trying to ask him to say, who's your source? That was like, oh, my source is anonymous. But did you read this? Or did one of those drunken fans, they told you? Because I know about investigation. It's all about the source, who becomes real and who becomes fake. So my advice to like some of the content creators, don't put fake news because you're going to be victim of the clickbait. If you want to be really investigation about what's real and what's fake, you have to know about those official sources. Official sources. I know some of the people, they're really hurt because they don't want to hear the truth. But the fact is, some persons, some content creators that we are here doesn't want to speak the truth. That doesn't want to talking about like the fantasy life, everything fake. But some of the content creators are talking 100% pure, 100% raw, and 100% true. Just like that. 100% truth. It doesn't matter in fact because they know exactly what they live. They know exactly what they saw. And they know exactly what they feel. Yep. And that's what I just said. Because I don't know why some of the content creators are really falling for that clickbait shit and they just wanted to like given the script to tell what they really want. They're just like, hold on a minute. Because to be honest right now, if you had a script and then why you're asking for like going for the camera to read the script or to say, hey, how's it going? Because look, some of those persons, they just wanted to get improvised to say, hey, how's it going? Because I got memorized. Like, I know my brain is not perfect, but you had to memorize all those words, all those things, because if you had to really prepare, you had to really prepare. Don't pull it and fool it off for the script because I know it's looking bad. Real looking bad. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to tell you, thank you guys for joining this late night reaction between Las Vegas Raiders versus Kansas City Chiefs on this recap. Because I know we had the bye week. And probably this Sunday, probably Saturday, I'm going to do a watch party between for UFC 321, which is going to be at 2 p.m. I don't know, but I had to figure it out about for like scheduling, like the live streams coming up there. Then probably I'm gonna do like in between the rivalry between New York Giants versus Philadelphia Eagles, and then well, just like a double header for 1 p.m. Houston Texans versus San Francisco 49ers. Yeah, probably I'm gonna do something right now. And I just wanted to tell you, thank you guys for joining, and salute to everybody else on the chat. Salute to everybody else who watching it. And remember, kids, follow me on different social media at Capitán Rafucho on X, at Capitán Rafucho 93 on Instagram, at Capitán Rafucho 93 on Kick, and subscribe me to my YouTube channel, Capitán Rafucho on YouTube. Almost there for 2K subscribers, because I need like 50 new subscribers. Well, if you know what that means. All right, so have a good one, folks. I'm out of here, so salute to everybody else. Buenas noches. Gracias totales, and see you there.